Okay, so my question was, you have a sample that is either copper sulfate or copper sulfate pentahydrate. Using freezing point depression, and explain in mathematical detail how you could tell the two compounds apart. Okay, so I recalled from our lectures that this is how you measure the freezing point of depression, which would be the change in temperature of the freezing point of the solvent minus the solution. And then I know that calculating the molality, I spelled that wrong, that's why I was pronouncing it wrong. Molality of the solution, M equals the moles of solute over the mass of the solvent, and that has to be in kilograms. So we have to determine the Van't Hoff factor, of which would be I, and I is basically just the ions that this solution could break into. So Cu, copper, SO4 sulfate, would break into Cu2 plus and SO4 because those ions do not further separate. So the I would be 2, and that would be copper sulfate 2. And then for copper sulfate pentahydrate, this also would only break into 2 ions because water is a covalent bond, and so it doesn't separate into more ions. It would just stay as a group altogether. So I just plug this into the equation from above. 2 times 1.86 is equal to 3.72. And then same thing for the one at the bottom, because we found that I was 2, so we multiplied it by 1.86, and that got us a 3.72. So the same freezing point depression of about 3.72 degrees Celsius when dissolved in water. Therefore, based on freezing point depression, you cannot differentiate between the two compounds.